Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to tackle one of the most useful tools in English, the adverbial clause. And I promise, by the end of this, we're going to turn what seems kind of complicated into your brand new grammar superpower.
I totally get it. The second you hear the word clause, your eyes might start to glaze over. You've got noun clauses, relative clauses. It feels like you're juggling a dozen different rules. And it's really easy to get overwhelmed and just tune out.
But here's the good news, I promise. Of all the different kinds of clauses out there, the adverbial clause is, without a doubt, the most straightforward. It's the perfect place to start. If you can get the hang of this one, everything else is going to feel so much easier. So let's get properly introduced to this simple member of the clause family. Try not to think of it as some boring grammar rule you have to memorize. Instead, think of it as a really cool building block for making your sentences way more interesting and logical. The basic recipe here is actually super simple. An adverbial clause is really just two things: a complete sentence, like he got married, and a connecting word with a real meaning, like after, stuck on the front. And its whole job is to add extra info to another complete sentence. That's pretty much it. Now, to really become a pro at this, you've got to know how to tell an adverbial clause apart from the other types. There are two key differences that once you see them will make you an expert at spotting these things in the wild. Let's dig into the first one. Okay, so at a quick glance, these two can look kind of similar, right? But on the right, you've got what's called a coordinate clause. It uses a simple word like and to just link two ideas that are basically equals. They're partners. But the adverbial clause on the left, it creates a totally different dynamic. One clause is the boss, the main clause, and the other is the helper, the subordinate clause. It's there to explain why, when, or how the main thing happened. All right, now for the big one. This is where a lot of people get tripped up, but it's also where the adverbial clause really shows you what makes it so special. The difference between an adverbial clause and a noun clause is like night and day once you know what to look for. The first dead giveaway is the connecting word itself. With an adverbial clause, the connector, words like though, if, because, it actually has a real logical meaning. It's telling you about the relationship. But in a noun clause, the most common connector, that, doesn't really mean anything. It's just a placeholder, basically pointing to the idea that comes next. And that leads right into the second crucial difference: their job. What are they actually doing in the sentence? Take a look at the adverbial clause. It's like an accessory you add to an outfit that's already complete. The sentence, "the witness said this," works perfectly fine on its own. But on the right, the noun clause is a core part of the outfit itself. The witness said, well, said what? It's an incomplete thought. It needs that noun clause to fill in the blank and make sense. It's a required puzzle piece. So if you only remember one thing from today, make it this simple formula: a complete sentence plus a meaningful connector equals an adverbial clause. If you see those two things together, you know exactly what you're looking at. Okay, so we know how to spot them. Now for the fun part. What can we do with them? It helps to think of all the different kinds of adverbial clauses as a set of tools in a toolbox. Each one is designed for a very specific job. First up, we've got the time tool. This is probably the one you already use all the time without even thinking about it. Connectors like after, before, and when create these clauses that just answer one simple question: when? He became more frugal. When? After he got married. See? Simple and effective. Next in the toolbox is condition. This is your if-then tool. Connectors like if or unless set up the specific circumstances. So the main action here, I'll say you're sleeping, it's only going to happen on one condition: if he calls. Ah, the cause and result tool. This one's fantastic for showing those clear logical links. The classic combo here is so, that. It perfectly connects a cause, he looked so sincere, directly to its result, that no one doubted his story. It's a beautiful structure. Now, don't get that one mixed up with purpose. This tool, with connectors like so that, answers a different question. Why? What was the intention behind the action? She locked the drugs. Why? So that the kids wouldn't swallow any. It's all about the goal. And finally, maybe one of the most powerful tools in the whole box: concession. Words like although or even though let you introduce a counterargument or an obstacle. It's a fantastic way to acknowledge the other side, although you may object, right before you state your main point even more strongly. All right,
Now, some connectors are so special, they're like a Swiss Army knife. They deserve their own little section because they are your ultimate cheat code for spotting a very specific, very useful type of adverbial clause.
You see the pattern here, right? Anytime you find a WH word being used as a connector, just try swapping it out in your head with the phrase no matter. If it works, you have automatically found a concessionary adverbial clause. Whoever calls just means no matter who calls. However cold it is just means no matter how cold it is. It's an awesome little trick that works every single time. So let's recap. We figured out what an adverbial clause is, we've learned how to spot the difference between it and its relatives, and we've checked out all the cool tools it gives us. You seriously have everything you need now to use this grammar superpower with total confidence. And here it is, your simple 3-step checklist. Whenever you're not sure, just run through this. 1. Find the connector. 2. Make sure it has a real meaning. And 3. Check that the main part of the sentence could stand all by itself. If you get 3 yeses, then congratulations, you've officially identified an adverbial clause. Look, at the end of the day, this isn't just about memorizing rules for a test. Understanding stuff like this is about taking control of your communication. It lets you express really complex ideas, like cause and effect, conditions, contrast, with way more precision and style. It just makes you a more powerful speaker and writer. So please, don't be afraid of adverbial clauses. They're not your enemy. They're your friends. They're one of the easiest and most flexible ways to really level up your English. So the only real question left is, are you ready to start using your new superpower?